Welcome back to Finding Flow, the podcast where we explore the real stories behind how top leaders, founders, and investors build momentum, lead teams, and find their personal and professional flow. Today's guest has built one of the most impressive careers in revenue leadership across SaaS, data, and enterprise technology. He's a builder, coach, and a problem solver with a true passion for developing people, refining processes, and driving revenue growth at scale. Brian Weinberger is the Chief Revenue Officer at Sisense, where he's leading global revenue across one of the most innovative platforms in embedded analytics and AI-powered business intelligence. Prior to Sisense, Brian held senior sales leadership positions at Cube, Yext, Segment, Salesforce, and more, consistently building high-performing teams and driving meaningful results. Brian, it's such a pleasure to have you here. I really appreciate you taking the time to join. Welcome.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks for having me.
Great. Well, it's good to have you. Let's start with your early journey. You've led sales teams across different industries and stages of growth. So, what originally drew you into sales and leadership? And was this always something that you gravitated towards?
It's a great question. I don't know if I thought I'd be where I am right now, back when I started,
Yeah.
but I was really fortunate to start at ADP. So ADP, automatic data processing, was kind of unique when it started. It was a payroll outsourcing company. So basically, companies could either do payroll internally, like with like a person, a bookkeeper that works for an accountant, or
Hmm.
they could outsource the entire process. And ADP was really early in that sort of category. And it was such an amazing place to start my sales career. And it was like essentially high octane, filled with like sort of all similar types of people that were just motivated to win, very competitive.
Yeah.
And it was, I always call it co-opetition.
Hmm.
And I try to
Okay.
bring that to my sales organizations. Co-opetition means like you're excited when someone else closes a deal, but you
Yeah.
also like you want to close your own deal. But it helps you close your own deal when other people are closing deals around you.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like everybody's rowing together. And it was just high energy. And still keep in touch with a lot of people from ADP. But basically, when I think about those people there, like they were like the best sales athletes in the world.
Okay.
And so that pushed me to want to continue to learn, evolve, and develop and be better. And also moved me into leadership very, very early in my career.
Oh, very good. Yeah, it's like I hear what you're saying about the competition. It's like a healthy competition. Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. I really like that. Um
Yeah. I mean,
and
literally, by the way,
yeah.
um, and so like there was a time where people would actually literally argue and fight over whose territory was better.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, the idea was like you didn't want to have a great territory. You wanted to kind of prove that your skills were unmatched and you were the
Yeah.
best seller. And
Hmm.
people would kind of fight over territory and say like, "Oh, your territory's better. That's probably why you're doing better." But
Yeah.
that's how competitive it was there.
Okay, got it, got it. And that gives me a good understanding. And you've been described as a coach and motivator, even by many of your team members. Where did that leadership philosophy begin to take shape for you?
First of all, I'm really humbled by all this. It's I never really feel like I'm working. I mean, I'm super like I bounce out of bed. I'm passionate about like what I do. It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to me. I think coaching started very early for me. At a young age, basically playing sports. I kind of like think about summer camp quite a bit. So I
Mm.
spent 7 or 8 summers away from home at sort of overnight camp. And basically, that's where my confidence started, like being built. And we had this thing called Color War. Basically, they divide the camp up into two teams. And so typically it's the colors of the camp. So like we were white and blue,
Yeah.
my camp. And one of the biggest things, like the biggest thing, achievement you can have is becoming a captain of
Mm.
the team. So like you were like sort of going back every summer to sort of get to that milestone. And, finally I became a captain. And you basically, your name's in bright lights, you get a plaque and all this sort of notoriety. And I think that's when I like really enjoyed leading and
Mhm.
sort of coaching and motivating. So that was at an early age. I mean, I was probably around 13 years old when that was going on. And then that kind of moved me into playing sports in high school. So becoming a captain of my basketball team. And basically, then I had the opportunity to work with like younger children on developing their basketball skills. So, like, I mean, it started just kind of layering this
Yeah.
idea of coaching people. And finally, like, I mean, my time at ADP was so special because I happened to work for some of the best coaches, best manager, leader coaches that you can ever work for. And so that was like leading by example.
Mhm.
And that's when I knew like I wanted to be just like these people. And I'll feel free to like, I'll shout out some of these names. I mean, I worked for this guy, Dave Primali.
Mhm.
He went to a high level at ADP, but he was one of my first managers. And he wasn't just a manager. He was more of like a life coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he would coach me on like different challenges I had outside of work.
Yeah.
And so it dawned on me like this is going to be something I want to do. And then I had the pleasure of working for Hector Martinez, who now runs all of John Hancock Insurance
Mhm.
in North America. So
Mm.
he was another just incredible, dynamic leader that cared more about you as a person than he did as like what I sold. What I sold was just a result of him developing um, me into a better person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing the impact that a good leader can have just even on your personal life and your whole life in general. It really makes a huge, huge difference. So no, that's really good to hear. You've scaled multiple teams, so across Salesforce, Segment, Cube, Sisense, and more. What do you believe are the key ingredients to building high-performing teams, and especially in fast-growth environments?
Well, it starts with people.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have the right people, and you have to have people that believe what you believe, which is a technique that I've had to develop, like basically storytelling. So getting people on kind of your side of the table. So telling stories, being vulnerable,
Mm.
um, being empathetic, caring, and that's how you can kind of win hearts and minds over. So if you do that with basically people that are highly motivated on their own, that's going to really be the foundation.
Mm.
And then, of course, this is sort of cliche, but next would be like process.
Mhm.
Um, so, by the way, I have the four P's. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the
Okay.
people, process.
Yeah. Hmm.
You need a really simple, clean, easy process. That really allows like you got to get in the buyer's mindset. I think I think this is a mistake that sales makes. Sales tries to push their agenda.
Mm.
Like here's our selling process. And I learned really early working with an amazing coach, Charles Menard, his name is.
Mhm.
Criteria for success with his company. And he worked with me at an early age. Basically, we have to have a buyer. There's a buyer's process and there's a seller's process.
Mm.
So you really have to step inside the buyer's process. So a good process for selling is really exactly how the buyer wants to experience your product.
Mm.
And
Okay.
so, right, most buyers they want to see a demo of the product. They want to know the pricing, and basically they probably want to talk to another customer. Those are like the three things that they all want to do. So you kind of have to know that already and develop a process that kind of allows them to do that easily,
Mm.
frictionless, Next would be basically what I would call pipeline.
Okay. Yeah.
So demand, you need a lot of demand, and demand can come in so many flavors, and it's obviously evolved as the world has changed. Most buyers know more about your product than you do before they show up between, search engines or AI. They know a lot. So you have to figure out both inbound and outbound what that looks like. Like starts with like your ideal customer profile, right? Like the sweet spot.
Yeah.
What kind of company, what kind of person is in your wheelhouse? What is their use case? And then basically you need to build a lot of pipeline. Um, and then finally, I call pursuits, which is basically deals. Like, so
Mhm.
those are the four P's. You need to have like really strong win rates. You need to compete really well. You need to understand how you differentiate, and you need to manage all that. Like, you need to
Mhm.
have a really good CRM system and managers to actually manage it. So, just to kind of summarize, um, people is everything. That's the foundation.
Yeah.
Um, the process has to be tight so that you have a lot of pipeline, but you're winning at a high clip. Because when you win at a high rate, you have a lot of pipeline, you win at a high rate with the best people helping you win, you will
Yeah.
actually grow and scale.
Yeah. 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 Very good. I really like that. And so you're now leading global revenue at Sisense. And we're seeing a huge shift in SaaS around embedded analytics, AI, and data-powered decision making. So, from your perspective, how is AI starting to reshape the way companies sell, lead, and operate?
Yeah. Let me back up and then I'll get there.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So, look, at an early age, early in my career, I was leading a sales organization, hiring, recruiting, hiring, developing the
Mhm.
playbook, all that stuff, growing a business, and grew a really big business. Like right after ADP, I was at a boutique system integrator. From there, I went over to Salesforce, and that really like I kind of like look at that as it accelerated everything for me.
Mhm.
So everything I was doing as a sales leader, it sort of showed me how to do it better and faster. And all of that, since I left Salesforce, I've been on this journey
Mhm.
uh, to be a CRO, and it started with joining a rocket ship product company. That was Segment. And then from there, I joined this New York City based tech company called Yext. I call it a publicly traded startup. And that was another sort of like refining my skills, getting me to sort of this CRO spot. I worked alongside amazing leaders. Patrick Blair kind of showed me the way on how to sort of operationalize sales
Mhm.
leadership. And then I finally got my first opportunity at Cube Software, which was so a fortuitous bounce for me because it was an FP&A platform, financial planning and analysis, which really helps you make decisions based on data. Um,
Mhm.
so essentially, having a really good plan for a company, then executing the plan, will help scale. And finally, I came over to Sisense to give me more global responsibility and just bigger responsibility, bigger team, more revenue, et cetera. Okay, now your question, AI. AI is moving like beyond fast.
Yeah.
Essentially, like what cloud was for software, AI is now it's like the AI revolution. It's even
Mhm.
faster. Like, so
Mhm.
if you aren't either leveraging AI to help you move faster, or you don't have AI in your platform, you're going to get passed by quickly.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I think AI on as far as like using AI internally, it makes you smarter faster. And so like all the things we do in sales don't go away, but
Mhm.
they can be enhanced.
Mhm.
Whether it's a talk track for a meeting. Hey, I'm meeting with a really key deal and it's the CEO and here's what they care about. Like, how should I frame it? Boom. AI can help you do that. Um, I have a pitch coming up, and these are like the five sort of things I want to get across. Can you put together an outline, a deck? Boom, it does that. Um, by the way, it can do like basically, I call it Monday quarterbacking. That's an American term, but
Yeah.
essentially like coaching, watching film
Hmm.
of your reps, of your team. AI can help you do that faster. So, like for instance, you could build like a dashboard that pulls together like keywords that were said or not said on a meeting and allow you to analyze that. And like if you want to differentiate on a specific item, you could have a dashboard built around that. Or you want to understand every time you compete with company X, I want to see what that looks like. And then you can now watch film faster. And, essentially like film, think about it, the clips we watch, the reels on TikTok, Instagram,
Yeah.
YouTube, 3 minutes is like max,
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah.
So AI for sales has kind of helped speed that up. AI for customer success,
Hmm.
same thing. By the way, when you shift territories or shift accounts to CSMs, I mean, AI can get you up to speed in
Yeah.
probably a fraction of the time. And then, so that's kind of internal use of AI. So a lot
Hmm.
of the monotonous tasks, whether it's like crafting your message, email messages, taking notes on calls, populating a database like CRM, AI can help do that better and faster. And then, of course, you need an AI story in your platform. I mean, or you're just going to get crushed. So
Yeah.
I can get into that, but I'll kind of stop there.
Yeah, no, that's and so you've been involved as an LP and advisor with the GTM Fund and Seek AI. What do you see as some of the most exciting shifts happening right now in the broader SaaS and sales ecosystem?
So I would answer it this way.
Hmm.
Um, like the crystal ball for this.
Yeah.
I am curious. So like I had the opportunity to work at Salesforce, which basically rode the cloud, multi-tenant cloud wave,
Mm.
and basically became one of the best software companies in the world. The question is like, who's going to ride the AI wave? I mean, so
Mm.
there's just so many out there right now. It's hard to decipher.
Yeah.
And the question is, will these big companies, Snowflake, AWS, Microsoft, Salesforce, etc., will they have an easier time becoming AI platforms, or will there be a darling that we just don't even know about right now
Yeah.
that will fly by them? I am curious of sort of the cloud applications that are databases, whether it's Salesforce or Gainsight or some other system. Like, will there be an AI flavor of like a CRM system out there?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that'll be interesting to me. Um, and still, like, also the market feels like it's still waiting,
Yeah.
like more patiently. Like, I would think there'd be a lot more acquisitions. So, like, these one trick ponies or whatever, these like point niche solutions that do note taking really well via
Mm. Mm.
AI. Like that, I don't see as a platform, but can a platform that doesn't have that essentially take them on and buy them?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah. Yeah.
sort
Yeah.
of like, I mean, again, that's probably not a crystal ball that you wanted to hear, but that's just some of my thoughts.
No, no, that's very interesting. And you operate on a very high level, so leading teams, advising startups, investing, and still staying connected to coaching. How do you personally stay in flow and keep your energy and clarity as a leader?
Um, I will say like the new 3.0 version for me is I was for 17 years or more,
Hmm.
I was going in an office every day.
Yeah.
So that in itself had like you had to have like the mental fortitude and energy for that. Um, Now the fact that I mainly work from home,
Hmm.
it sort of re-energized me.
Yeah.
Um, I basically have to work out every day.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps get me fired up for the day. I don't do this often enough, but I do a lot of mental health exercises.
Hmm.
So, just basically like it's not that sophisticated, but like sitting on either outside on my deck or
Mm.
the couch in my office, I basically for 5 minutes put the phone away, shut everything down, close my eyes, and set the clock for 5.
Yeah.
And on one hand, that seems like really short, but it's a long time when you have nothing to do for that time. And you kind of just really dive in and you focus on like basically being grounded and
Yeah.
sort of you hear different sounds, especially if you're outside, like where I live, I hear so many different things, birds chirping and
Yeah.
wind blowing through the leaves. So that's another way to sort of like recharge yourself and reconnect. Um, I have an opportunity when the day's done to go do some other thing outdoors, whether it's a walk, um, or go to the driving range and hit some golf balls. Like there's a lot of opportunity to kind of like recharge yourself now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think, I mean, even taking 5 minutes breaks just to do a bit of breathing and just to refocus, it makes such a massive difference to your day. Like you just your mind is clear afterwards. You can accumulate so many things throughout the day without even realizing it. And then taking those 5 minutes, usually like you realize how much you had on your mind, and then everything's a lot more clear. So I think it's good also for the long term. Like it's good to not get burnt out or anything like that, but to kind of like perform at a high level for a long time. So I definitely think that's great. It's good to do those, and definitely exercise is fantastic. So what kind of exercise do you like to do?
Huh. I, like a lot of people during the pandemic,
Mhm.
started adding and enhancing my personal home gym.
Okay, great.
So I mean, I do some cardio. I have
Yeah,
an elliptical machine, but also go for some good walks. I'm not a runner.
yeah.
Um, I have, of course, I have a Peloton bike, but
Okay,
that's mainly for my clothes to dry
yeah.
after I wash them. No,
Okay.
I mean, I'm into weight training.
Mm.
I saw a trainer for a few years, and basically, once that person gave me like a routine, I kind
Mm.
of just do that on my own. So do some weightlifting and try to work on the core as much as I can
Yeah,
when you're at my age.
very good, very good.
Yeah, nothing
Uh,
that sophisticated.
no, I mean any exercise is so good for you. Like the important thing I think is just like being consistent and just keeping that going because it makes a huge
Yes.
difference in the long run. Yeah, so that's great. And I suppose when you reflect on your career, what's been one of the biggest mindset shifts that helped you to level up as a leader?
I think a lot of it is who you're surrounded by.
Mhm.
So I think look, when you're on the climb, a lot of times you're constantly thinking about yourself
Mhm.
and you're like, what can I do? How can I do this? When is my chance going to happen? All of it is about yourself. And I think you have to realize that other people can kind of get you there as well. So,
Yeah.
I sort of had this image as a young kid trying to hop a fence.
Hmm.
So, like, picture like a fence and you're trying to climb it and get over it.
Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
when you're younger, like, you had a friend, or I had my brother, or someone would basically put their hands out and you would step on it to sort of get over the fence. I kind of look at my peers and even people, my leaders who work for me, as like the people putting their hands out that will help me
Yeah.
be better.
Hmm.
Um, because I do really believe in this theory of 1 + 1 = 3. I
Yeah.
do believe you have, two powerful minds should not should equate to more than 1 + 1 = 2. So
Yeah.
that's sort of something that's taken me maybe a while to figure out, but it's never too late.
Yeah, that's very good. I really enjoyed this conversation. I think it was so valuable, the insights that you've given. It really gave me a lot of perspective, and I'm sure everyone listening and watching is gonna really benefit from watching this. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining, and thank you for sharing a bit about yourself and a bit about your journey. And yeah, just to say thank you so much.
Kyle, love what you're doing. I appreciate you. I'm glad you found me. And yeah, I hope this was helpful.
It was really, really helpful. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye. Bye.